We're back. Oh, it's such an exciting one. Didn't expect this to happen till winter, but first show's done. As you know, I won hard luck due to a blown motor. And you heard it in the last, well, a couple episodes ago now, but we're gonna pull it out. Well, at least start. I would like to just basically have this front bumper off today, maybe the flares. And then tomorrow I can get the rad sport off and I will get the compression tester going and then we can go from there. I'm tired. This is still the day after the show and like I've had 6 hours of sleep in 50 hours, so it's catching up to me. I don't know how much I'll actually get done, but this will be a multiple day video. I want this to have an answer in it on what happened. So let's get into it. Ready? Boom. Keep going, Megan. I just gotta hook a battery charger up to it so I can crank it over. And we're off to the races. So we've got all our covers off, coil packs off, plug wires off, plugs are out in a drawer. And we just hooked up the compression tester to the first hole and we're gonna just kind of go around. I cannot get back passenger plug out, so hopefully one of these ones gives us something obvious and we don't even need to worry about it, but it is what it is. So we're gonna just hook the battery charger up here so we can crank her over. Rad's empty. I gotta pour a little bit of oil back in the motor just so I don't hurt anything further. If anything is savable. But let's do this.
Ready?
Okay, hole number one. Say like 180, 190?
That one's good.
This hole's got tons.
Now click it back the other way.
Okay, can we leave that one in there just a little bit, please?
Yeah. There you go. It's off.
There we go. Rad sport's off. And we're just gonna start stripping off all the accessories so that we can cherry pick this thing back out. Okay. Here she is. We've got intake mani off, front saw, like all your accessories are off, minus the water pump, just because I don't want to leak it all over the floor here and I got no way of catching that. Most of the wiring's disconnected on the front. I just got to disconnect the crank sensor once the starter comes out. All the top bell housing bolts are out, and tomorrow I'll throw it up on jack stands, pull the motor mounts, pull the bottom bell housing bolts and the starter. And then I gotta plug that crank sensor and the rest of the wiring can come up and be pinned to the wipers because that's what we found is working so far. And then I just gotta cherry pick it out. We're getting close. We're getting close. Alrighty, well, that's everything free. We're gonna yard this thing out, get it on a stand, and then we'll get to the exciting stuff. We're gonna pop a head off of each side. Hopefully it exposes itself there, and then we gotta drop the oil pan and we'll just see, like, go over all the bearings, make sure, well, not even make sure, it doesn't matter. I just out of curiosity now to see what happened. It's on a stand, it's on a stand. So we've got one, well, both valve covers are off. Visibly everything looks good, so that's good. I got the rocker arms off one side with all the push rods out. All the push rods are straight and you can blow air through them, so that's good. We're winning right now, no sign of wear on the rocker arms. So we're gonna just pop this head off and then we can see what happened underneath, hopefully. This is the side that we've been borescoping and everything, so I'm praying that as soon as we open this head up, it is right in our face. Okay, last few bolts holding the heads on. Well, this head, I guess. So I'm just gonna take it right over to the blanket. This is literally all that I'm carrying is okay. It's probably gonna gush some coolant all over our tipsy toesies. Okay. All the washers are still in the holes. Okay, you ready? That's depressing. Looks to me like the heads are perfectly fine, at least on this side. Just dropping washers. Okay, I'm gonna rest this down. Man, I don't see anything. Head gasket that was fully sealed, looks good. Okay. I'm gonna pull some lifters out of this side. Crap. I was hoping for something like obvious. This is not that. Side number 2. Maybe this one will be more obvious. Maybe this whole time what we thought was on the driver's side was actually on the passenger side. That wouldn't even surprise me. Crap. Culprit might be right here. If you see, look at ring gap right on that side to that side. Been running a little rich, but better rich than lean. Okay. So we pulled the pan off, and we're starting to find some stuff. We've got like little chunks, just kind of laying everywhere. Some up on the oil pickup. This is the pan. Just like a go fishing moment now. That's a baffle. Nasty. And then like bottom corner, it's full of fragments. So I think we're gonna start just stripping down and figuring out what failed here.
What'd you find?
Lifting the cover.
I would love to.
Let's do it. Okay, all the bolts are out. Is it gonna be obvious?
Of course not.
So tone ring is still clean. That's
Concerning.
yeah, because we lost crank sensor. Okay.
One shaving on the bottom of this thing.
Yeah, you can see like all the steel, right?
Mm-hmm.
It ate a bearing somewhere. Oh, we got one loose rod.
I don't think the bolts are loose there, buddy.
No bearings cut. So
That sounds like what your knock was.
man, that's depressing.
Oh, it's tight too.
Is this hitting? That seems oddly close.
Yeah, but fucking tap on your. Yeah. Let me grab that one.
Get a bar.
Bar.
Spin it.
Oh.
Guess what? We found it. Ding 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 ding. We've got a winner. Rod bearing, not that bad. I want to pull the caps on all of them, to be honest, and just make sure everything looks okay. I wouldn't mind pulling the main caps just to see. But in theory, we could put a set of rod bearings in it and run the motor again with a flush, but we'll see what we end up doing here. But yeah, that is a best case scenario right there. Looks like we found our culprit. This is the knocky knock bearing, which I would like to pop this cap off. Let's see. Just spin the crank. Okay, we just spun it around here. These. That's fingernailable though. Shit. Nah, I thought we might have caught it in time, but it's not looking bueno. But that's okay. It happens. There's your issue. Whew. So, motor's in the shop. We're ready to, we gotta pull a bunch of stock stuff off of it and swap my stuff over so my harness works, but we're gonna get it stripped down and just kind of like keep you updated. I don't want to make you guys watch me take another motor apart. Okay, old one. New one. So I got the stock manifolds off, all the accessory drives, and yeah, coil packs and such. Looks a little different. Getting there. So I'll show you. Pulled the timing cover off of this one, and then checked the timing chain. We went over the bottom end with the pan off, intake manifolds off. The front main in this one was leaking, so we just swapped it to the one that came off the one that blew up. So it wasn't leaking, shouldn't leak. Rear main cover is on there too. This motor's getting slowly stripped down further and further. Yeah, same story, it was leaking out the back. At least it looked like it, so I just didn't want to risk it. These valve covers are gross, but we're not even gonna bother because I've got the yellow ones downstairs. So Megan's just starting to kind of go around the block with the wire wheel while I use bread. Yes, I said bread. This is an old trick I've learned when I was a bush mechanic. We've got a pilot bearing in the end of this crank. I need to put it in this crank. What's the easiest way to get that out without wrecking it? A socket that fits the hole. And then you just stuff bread in there. I'm not joking. So once this thing starts to move, I'll get Megan to record and show you. But like, you just stuff it in there, tap the socket in, and eventually, once you've got enough bread in there, it's probably gonna take 2 full pieces. It starts popping out. And you just keep adding bread and out she comes. Magic, I tell you. Magic. Oh, Excuse me. Bingo. Look at all the bread. Pretty crazy, eh? Life hack, you do not need to buy a fancy puller for blind holes. Go get a loaf of bread. Save yourself. Tip for the day. Here's the before. That's better. Doesn't look like such a grungy motor. We went over it with a wire wheel on a Dremel until there was nothing left of the wire wheel on the Dremel. And then just hit it with some spray 9. Kind of got off what we could. And just slap some paint on it. It's gonna look better than it did. And that's what I'm going for here. I know this one is not as clean as my last block. Like, we spent a lot of hours cleaning that last block up. But I don't have those hours right now. Driven show is in, what, 12 days? And I still want to be able to get a couple test hits before we just up and drive to Vancouver, which is 9 hours for us. So yeah, we're going to hopefully have this thing back in the hole tomorrow. And fire up midweek. We're winning. We're winning.
Hi.
Wait.
My dad did this too hard for me.
Too tight?
Too tight. I did
Okay,
wrong.
buddy. Pull the ratchet towards you, the other way. You need that thing to stay flat?
Down it.
Yeah, now pull. Okay, you can't let it, you want it to be flat, not up. Twist it more towards you. Like this.
Why?
So you can keep the ratchet flat. Now pull. And it won't pop off as easy.
Why do you do this?
We didn't want the motor to move. You're lifting up, so you gotta keep it flat.
I can't do this.
I'll get you a bigger one.
Oh wait.
Hey!
It's going to oral, but
That's okay. That's what we got baths for. Now it's probably just finger tight.
oh wait. Oh. I'm gonna have a bath, so I have to stay in oral now.
No, don't just sit in oil.
I'm neither in oral.
Knees are fine. Don't just sit on it with your clothes.
Sweet. How many more?
2 more.
On this side.
2 more.
And then there's 4 on the other side.
Cat more.
Okay.
If you guys don't know my language right now, it's French, so you might not be able to understand me.
Yeah, you're in French immersion, aren't you?
Yes.
I love you.
I don't want that bath. Hi guys, if you ever silicone this, be careful because you might get all over your hand, like I did.
That's right.
I told my dad, that's because I'm gonna have Sally 1 again. I'm gonna have trouble with this one.
You want me to help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got some on my clothes.
Last bolt for the motor mount. Right there. Bingo. We're just gonna snug these up a little bit because once we get it in the hole, I really like to be able to adjust it so that it's sucked all the way in against the tranny, and then I tighten these up. Getting the silicone off. I've got a shop to clean up. I'm standing on a mountain of kitty litter because our oil jug fell over and just had a lake of old oil.
What the oil jug fall over?
Yeah, it fell off of the motor stand it was sitting on, so that was fun.
I was with my mom going grocery shopping.
Yeah, you weren't here when it happened. That's okay. Happens.
I'm still working too.
We're gonna clean this all up. I'll push it in front of the car, and then as soon as I got another set of hands, we're gonna slip this thing in. Motor's off the stand. Chilling in the hole again. So I forgot a step. There's a little nub on the block right by the starter. It's a casting piece that is used in the trucks, but not in this application. So I gotta go grind it off with my die grinder. Whatever, is what it is. Can't be mad about it. So I'm gonna do that. And then I can put the starter up and do the motor mounts, and it can come down. Push it back inside for the night, and then tomorrow I'll start hooking everything back up. We're making progress. What's going on? Is Riker torquing to spec?
Yeah.
What is spec for us? Tight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Water pump's on. Power steering bracket's on. Making sure they're good and tight with the kiddos. I'm not strong enough. Update. I've just been plugging away here. So we've got the front clip in, motors in, covers are on. I'm gotta go buy a new air filter for it. So there's no filter on it. There's no oil in it right now, and there's no filter on, like oil filter, but that's on tomorrow's to-do list. I gotta go get everything to get the fluids in it, and then we're gonna fire up on Sunday. Sunday, the tuner shows up, we're gonna flash a new ECU in it, and hope to the car gods. This is the current state. Almost looking like a car again. I gotta wire up the fans again, and then put the headlights in, but should have a beat tonight. We are close. There's the front end. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm scared that we're gonna hit the key and there might not be something okay with this motor. The guy bought it off, said it ran. So we're just crossing our fingers here. I know the guy should be okay, but you don't fully know until you actually find out. But we're getting close. Just gotta throw the hood on it and put some fluids in it. But she's back in pretty mode, monster trucking right now. I'm just leaving it on stands because I gotta put the oil filter on it and it's underneath. And then she can come down and air out and just sit and wait until Sunday. We're putting the oil filter on?
I'm under the car like I'm never supposed to be.
You're getting big enough.
I'm getting big enough. That's not when I was a kid, you know. Okay, you check if it's ready.
Good job, bud. Well, today was tune day. We had a hell of a day, and I'm sorry I didn't even get a chance to record. So we started the day off waiting for a tuner to send us a map, and he ended up busy with his wife, so he wasn't able to. So we started scrambling and went out to a buddy's place, Crosby, Wolf Media. He had a 6-liter, 3/4 ton sitting there with a seized motor, but still powered up. So we robbed a tune from it for a stock tune.
They were working on his truck, which it was pretty boring.
It was a little boring.
Yeah.
So like the night before, I guess I should start there, we went out to another buddy's place to pull an ECU so that we could just swap ECUs. Turns out 05's different. The ECU in mine is an 01. They're different. So the guide pins didn't line up on the harness to be able to slide it in. But Crosby's, while we were doing the tune, pulling the tune, it said it was an 01. I'm like, I wonder if this ECU will work. So we snagged that ECU too. Now I have 3. And brought it home. It plugged in. Sweet. So we flashed the tune into it, deleted all the evap and emissions and crap. Fired it up. Smokes. It smokes blue, so I think it's burning off whatever it had in it from sitting, I'm hoping. And we're like, okay, let's take it for a drive. It's a little bit sputtery. I'm like, okay, it started cleaning up. And then lifter tick.
This brand new motor is not working
It's not.
for a reason.
So we've got both valve covers off.
My dad took this
They're
off.
hot, honey. I'll show you. Let me see if you can see this. I think the trunnions are dead. Because you can do that. Well, you can do that on pretty much every rocker, which is good. That's a lot easier than doing lifters in the hole. We're
Lifters
hoping.
are harder.
A lot harder. They're a lot deeper. But downstairs from my old heads, I have trunnion deleted rockers. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this rocker rail out of both sides, slip those rockers in, and then flash it and see what it does. I'm gonna start changing plugs after that because of the miss. I'm not too certain what totally it is, but it's a good place to start. So yeah, there's a little update. I'll try to do a little better with filming here, but we are in a massive crunch time to make Driven, and I just need this thing done. YouTube. So we found a bunch of rockers that had trunnions. Well, the trunnion bearings were gone on. So I put my trunnion deleted rockers from the old LS in it, fired it up, no sound. So we're gonna go for a drive and pray that everything is okay. And then I'm gonna pull it back apart because I gotta do spark plugs tomorrow. I'm gonna put a new set of plugs in it because it is kind of missing a little bit under throttle. New wires, new plugs, and just start fresh, and hopefully that cleans all that up. But I feel like I can breathe a little bit right now, but I'm really nervous for this drive because if this comes back again, I'm probably just gonna cry. At that point, it's lifters, and freaking right, it's real. Yeah, if it's lifters, I gotta pull the heads off, and we have a show in less than a week, and I would really like to put a few miles on it before I drive it 7 to 8 hours out of town, so I can kind of trust it a bit. So here's hoping that it was just the rockers, and we're off. So I'm gonna go for a quick drive and see what we see. Well, since we confirmed that she was dead, we just went to matching. Now we got an old school, but it is still electrical, which is nice. I don't have any oil lines in the car. Next up, because we are dealing with a bit of smoke and power, we have a new tune we're gonna load that deletes the automatic transmission from the ECU, because I think it just doesn't know what's going on right now and that's why it's bucking. So we're hoping, and then we will run some seafoam through it to clean the top end out. Hopefully that clears some of the smoke out. It's going to smoke like a bugger when we do it, but that's okay. And then we're going to just see what happens. That's all we can do. Change the plugs, change the wires, and hope for the best. So we got the seafoam run through it. We smoked the entire neighborhood out. It was just more focused on trying to keep the kids out of the smoke, but I've got the front two plugs out, and I think we found our miss. These are gross, and I think that seafoam was really needed. Let me see if I can get that to focus. One sec, move my thumb. Look at that. No wonder we're missing. So this motor is gonna see a hot flush before we go to Vancouver and everything, so we're gonna try to get it all pristine and clean again. I'm just gonna go for a little shakedown. We have a front main seal leak that I'm hoping I can just get like some Lucas or something just to limp it by for now, and then when I've got more time I can put a new seal on it, but it's pretty minor for what it is. I'll report back. This show is gonna be the death of me. So we went for a drive today because we had an oil pressure issue last night where it was gradually dropping off. Probably filled the filter. So we swapped the filter. Well, Megan swapped it today while I was at work trying to help out. And me and Junior went for a burn when I got off. All was great. 30 PSI on idle, 50 plus on RPM. Felt good. Never fluctuated. Got home. Went to pull it into the shop to start a hot flush, and Megan's like, "You're leaking." Yeah, you're right. We are leaking. So as I get in there, I'll show you. We're doing a front main seal. It is what it is. I think I have enough time to easily fit this in. We've got 4 days before the show now, so it's go time. Get it apart. Get right to that seal tonight, and then tomorrow I'll put the seal in, and then hopefully back together in the same day. Fire up, make sure we don't leak, and away we go. Okay, update. I got the hood on. I didn't want to take it off. So timing covers the front timing cover is off. Holding the thing. There it is. That would be why we're getting a leak. And then I did bend the seal to get it out, but where is it? Right here. See those little rips? Like right at my thumb here. And that was exactly where it was leaking, right at the bottom. So we got a new seal showing up tomorrow. Put that in. I'm gonna pull the other cover out of the shed. Put that on. And we should be back in business. Thank you, Megan. She went and grabbed the old cover from the shed. And we'll tap the seal out of this one and put the new seal in this one. After it's got a little bit of paint on it to make it look not so meh. Looks better than it started.
Yeah. Look at all the mud.
Yeah.
It was nasty.
It's horsepower.
Okay.
It reduces the horsepower, it's extra weight. So we'll probably call it right here for tonight. Yeah. Tomorrow we're gonna have this thing back together is the goal. And ready to at least fire with just a rod support, and we can check for leaks. Hopefully it was just a freak accident there. I don't understand why, but never always do. At least we found the issues. Catch you tomorrow. We back. And went right to it right after work. So the clip's back on, seal's been changed. Everything else is done up. And we're gonna flash it. Get the new, well, let's go pour a little more oil in it because we lost a lot yesterday. But yeah, let's see what happens. It's running! I got crap on my face, but no leak. So far, we're almost up to temp. Got good oil pressure. Here, I'll zoom in. Yeah, once I see like 160, 165-ish, I'll start bringing RPM up and see if I can mimic what driving would be before I put the front end on. Because the bumper is still sitting right there. But it sounds healthy. Y'all are all too familiar with this look. It's running! I got crap on my face, but no leak. So far, we're almost up to temp. Got good oil pressure. Here, I'll zoom in. Yeah, once I see like 160, 165-ish, I'll start bringing RPM up and see if I can mimic what driving would be before I put the front end on. Because the bumper is still sitting right there. But it sounds healthy. Boom. Well, it started raining, and this thing is just a skating rink in the water, and I really don't have a reason to need to go drive it right now. So we're just gonna call it for the night. She's back together, fully assembled. We believe the leak's gone. We believe we have good oil pressure. And that means I gotta get these coolant soaked clothes off. Sorry, Brandon. So scared. But yeah, I'm gonna sit for a few minutes. We gotta get everything together for trip to Vancouver this weekend. As of right now, I'm taking it.
That was a motor swap in like 10 days.
With a bunch of issues,
Yeah.
as you saw.
Yeah.
Why do we do this? But hopefully the next video is our driven video, the road to driven. Well, maybe this will be called the road to driven, but driven show prep.
Yeah.
And Sally's there.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. I'm gonna get it I got 2 more days before we leave. We'll do test hits the next 2 days. Tonight I'm just tired. And I think we might get to bed before 1.
Hopefully.
You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch ya in Vancouver.